In the last few steps, we created an endpoint with hard-coded logic. However, that's not really a good thing to do. So let's fix it right now. So I would start with creating a new Java bean. So I would start with file new class, and I would want to create it in the package. I'd want to call the package as soap.bean, and I would want to create a bean called course. Inside this class, what we would want are all the details that we would want to store for a specific course. So for now, the details which we have are int id. I'll just create a private int id. The next thing is private string name. We would also need a private string description. And what I'll do is I'll get a constructor generated. So right click, source. I would generate the getters and setters first, select all and say OK. I would also want a constructor, Alt Shift S, or you can do right click source, whichever way you would like it. So now I would want to do generate constructor using fields. Okay, this is cool. So I would want all the three fields, ID, name, and description. That's cool. And also the last thing which I would want to generate is the toString as well. Generate toString. By default, it's choosing message format. That's cool. That's fine with me. Let's create it. So what we have created until now is a very simple bean, right? It has ID, name, description, and it has a constructor, a getter and setter, and a toString. I would want to actually get this course from a service. So what I would do is I would want this course detail endpoint to talk to a service. So I'll auto wire it in. So at auto wire, and I'll call this course details service and call this service. Okay, so first let's import auto wired in. Control Shift O. Auto wired is in. It's organizing the imports and course details service. Let's go ahead and create a class called course details service. I'll create it in a package called .service and say finish. This is a component which should be managed by Spring. So I'll put add component on top of it. Over here, I'll define a few methods to manage my courses. Let's think of creating three services, right? One is to get course details given an ID. So for course one, get the details. The other service is to get all courses details. And the other last one that you would create is to delete a course. I'll create a method called find by ID. And this method would accept an ID as the input, int ID as the course ID as the input, and it would return a course back. To get all courses, I would need to return a list of courses back, right? So a list of courses back, and I'll call this find all, and this does not need an input, right? And the last course is to delete a course, and I can say delete by ID. Initially, what we'll do is we'll create them in memory. So we'll create an array list and hold them in memory. Create a static list of courses in here. So private static list of course, and let's use this to manage our courses, and this would be a new array list, Java util list and course. So, and to make things easy for us, I've actually populated a list of courses in. So courses is equal to new array list, and I've populated a few things statically. So I'm creating a course on Spring, Spring MVC, Spring Boot, Maven, and things like that. And I've added the courses in. This is basic Java code, right? I'm creating an instance of course and adding it in. Instead of course, adding it in. That's basically what we have done. So we created a static list. Now I would want to create a find by ID method to be able to get the thing from here by ID. So let's quickly implement that. So I would want to be able to find by ID this specific thing. So I would want to for loop around the courses. So we'll use the for each to loop around the course objects. I'll create an instance variable called course, and if the ID of the course matches, that's basically if course.get ID is equal to ID, then I would return that course back. And if we don't find the course, then what we would do? We would return null back. Very simple logic, right? Also, we would make this method public so that other classes can make use of this. Now, let's shift our focus to find all. In find all, it's a very simple method, right? We already have a complete list of courses, so we just need to do return courses. That's very simple. I need to just say public and delete by ID. What I would need to do? I'm creating the method, and then I would copy the code from here. So I'll loop around the courses and I'll return a indicator. So I'll return an indicator 1 if it's successful and 0 if it's failed. So for all courses in course, I would want to return back if the ID matches, then I would need to delete that course. So if its ID matches, then I would want to delete the course. So I can say courses remove. Actually, if I'm using a for each loop and trying to delete here, there's a chance that this would throw a concurrent modification exception. So this is not the best way to do that. The best way to do that would be to use an iterator. So I would need to get an iterator. So courses dot get, I need to get an iterator for the courses, and I'm assigning a local thing, and I would say while iterator.has next. What we need to do is pick up the course iterator.next. We compare the course with the ID, and if it's found, then we would need to remove the course from the iterator. Iterator.remove. Iterator.remove would remove the matching element from the iterator. The element is removed, we are returning 1 back. Otherwise, we are returning 0 back. Now we have initialized a list of courses. We have created a find all method, a delete by ID method, which we'll be making use of very soon. Course detail service is ready. Service, what I would need to do, I would need to call the service, right? So right now we are not calling the service. So service find by ID request.get ID, and this would return the details of the course. So I'm getting the details of the course. Now I would need to take these details and populate them. So I would need to set ID is course.get ID. Set name is name, and set description would be course.get description. Run the course management application. Let's go ahead and launch the WSDL. Okay, it's coming up fine. And now I can go ahead and say get course details, and I can pass in the course details and ID, and I would say go. Okay, there you go. Now I'm getting 1 spring and 10 steps. Where is it coming from? This is actually coming from the service. So the last thing I'll do in this step is to refactor the whole thing a little bit. One of the things I don't really like is having a lot of logic in here. So actually, the ideal way to do things like this is actually to use mapper. So I'm getting the details of the course in here. So what I'll do is I'll move this line of code up, and to create the response object, ideally we should create something called mappers. For now, I would actually create a map method. So what I'll do is I'll create a method called map course, which will map the course to the get course details response. This method is responsible for getting the details of the course and giving it to the course. And the map method is responsible for actually creating the course details, setting the values in them, and returning it back. You can see that the changes are now automatically being picked up. And if you would want to, just fire the request and you would see that nothing has actually changed. The output remains exactly as it is right now. So in this step, we created a simple service and we connected our endpoint. Until the next step, bye-bye.